Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to First Parish in Concord. It's wonderful to see you all here. My name is Beth Norton, and I serve here as the Director of Music Ministry. First Parish is a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, and love lies at the center of our faith. We covenant to transform and grow spiritually and ethically as we adapt to a changing world. With humility and reverence, we acknowledge our place in the great web of life. In this congregation, we affirm that Black Lives Matter as we embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. We are delighted to welcome you to worship today on this first of 2 Sundays that we are hosting services for the Summer Consortium of UU congregations, including First Parish in Concord, Bedford, Lexington, Lincoln, and Waltham. You will find a printed copy, actually you will find 2 printed copies of the schedule of summer services and their locations with your order of service. We welcome you on this summer adventure as we travel among our towns to worship with kindred UUs in a variety of local congregations this summer. And it's wonderful to see so many of you here from so many places this morning. We would especially like to welcome families with children today. Childcare is available during the service. You can bring your children downstairs to the parlor, which is down through these doors, or down in the elevator, which is here, or down through the back doors on the lower level, and in this corner of the building. They can be checked in, children can be checked in there where there's free play, and either in the parlor or on the playground, and then you can pick up the children following the services. If children don't want to stay in the service, we have these wonderful SoulWorks packages, really for children of all ages. And they have many things that you can do with your hands that help many of us focus. So if you're finding you would like to use the SoulWorks package, please feel free to help yourself. 2 of them, they're in the back. If you are visiting us today online, welcome. Right now, it is our custom to turn and face that camera and give a wave to all the people who are worshiping online. Welcome, it's good that you are joining us as well. If you are here in person, we invite you to stop by the welcome table after the service and say hello. Masks are optional throughout our building, and we continue to create as much ventilation as we can on this hot, hot day. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Matt Meyer, our worship leader today. Matt is an itinerant troubadour and worship leader who has led hundreds of services for UU congregations across the country. He has a degree in hand drumming and serves as Director of Community Life for the Sanctuary in Boston, a vibrant worship community that meets on Wednesday evenings. So welcome, Matt. We're looking forward to the service.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Ide. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve First Parish as the Acting Associate Minister for Congregational Care. We begin every service here by lighting the chalice, the primary symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith tradition. Please join me in our unison affirmation. O flame of our faith,
open our hearts and fill our bodies and souls with persistent strength, and lighten our spirits and engage us deeply in this life of ours, this sacred essential moment now.
Seeing you all gathered from so many different congregations, so many different communities. What a beautiful thing. In the olden days, they would have called this a revival, not a consortium. And luckily, I've got some good news to share with you all today. Today's service is about celebrating good news when we find it, because we don't always find it, but it's out there, and it's worth celebrating. It's worth staying our gratitudes aloud to each other. So in that spirit, we'll begin with this call to worship, an adaptation of Psalm 98. Embedded in my heart, a melody beats, awaiting the conductor's call. I hear it now and again, but only faintly. It disturbs my quest for power with hints of grace. It haunts my dreams of control with intimations of selflessness. It stays my hand lifted in anger, and it calms my heart when I am tight with rage. It whispers to me of justice, and it sings of compassion. It is the song of God, and we shall sing it yet, but not alone, because we each bear the song, and we each need the choir. Someday the song will rise in our mouths, and we will sing together in harmony. Mountains of discord will melt before us as idols of ego and tribe and boundary finally give way as we celebrate the many and the one. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for those who embrace it, and song is a chariot to both. Together we will sing the world awake. Our opening song is called Sing the World Awake. I invite you to join me on the chorus. It goes like this. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world awake. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world awake. Let's try that together. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world awake. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world awake. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. And for all of the singing that we do today, and there's going to be a lot of it, I invite you to do it in whatever way your spirit needs. And so if the words elude you and you just want to hum along, that's okay, that's just as good. And if what you need today, this morning, is to just sit in silence and soak in the sound of the room, that's okay too, that's just as good. And if what you need this morning is to rock out like you're alone in the car with your radio, this is your morning to do it. We've got space in the aisles for dancing should the need arise. Here we go. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Deep in my heart, a melody beats. Deep in my heart, awaiting your call. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Mountains of discord will melt before us. Idols of ego and borders will give way. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world away. Together we will sing. Together we will sing. Together we will sing the world awake. Let's take a deep breath. You may be seated as you exhale. At the Passover Seder in the Jewish tradition, the Haggadah, the Passover book, reads a litany of the steps of liberation. And after each step, the people respond, Daenu, it would have been enough. Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt offers this reflection about it, saying, what does this mean that it would have been enough? Surely no one of these steps would have really been enough. Not for us. Daenu means to celebrate each step toward liberation, though, as if it were enough, and then to start out on the next step. It means that if we reject each step because it is not the whole liberation, we will never be able to achieve the whole liberation. It means to sing each verse as if it were the whole song, and then sing the next verse. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn. It hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing My Life Flows On, an endless song. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars, I know truly living. What day the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. The bells over heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? Prison cell and dungeon round, how lost to them are waiting. Friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? You may be seated. In 1954, William Golding wrote a novel called Lord of the Flies. It's about a group of boys that get stranded on an island, and without civilization or any adults around, they descend into bloodthirsty, savage chaos. How many of you have heard of Lord of the Flies? Rarely in history has a novel been so admired by so many for articulating so much truth about the core of human nature. And the specific idea of the book is that civilization is just a thin veneer over humankind, keeping us just barely from acting out the selfish brutality of our true human nature. This idea is called veneer theory. I think it is the secular counterpart of original sin. But today's service is about good news, so let me give you some good news right off the bat. The book isn't true. Of course, it's fiction, but it's even more not true than that. Just 11 years after Lord of the Flies was published, an actual group of 6 teenage boys crash-landed on an actual abandoned island in Tonga, where they were stuck for 15 months. A real-life Lord of the Flies scenario. But in this true version of the story, things turned out different. The boys started a fire in the first few days, and they kept the fire burning nonstop for the whole 15 months through cooperation. They divided up the labor, teaming up in pairs to plant and tend a garden, and to cook for each other in the ad hoc kitchen they made. When one of the boys fell and broke his arm, the others made him a makeshift cast, and they took on extra work to care for him. They made instruments out of junk they found around the island, and they started and ended each day with song and prayer. How many of you have heard of the real-life boys stranded on an actual desert island who created a society of cooperation and community care? Not as many. If you have heard of Lord of the Flies, but you haven't heard of the actual true story of the Tonga boys, friends, it's because the cynics are winning. I don't believe in original sin, and I don't believe in veneer theory. I do believe, though, that some people think they have something to gain by repeating these bogus stories. And the cynics I'm talking about are the ones most invested in the status quo of an unjust society, the ones for whom success means profiting from our fear and our despair. In the news media, there's a saying that if it bleeds, it leads. And so researchers found that in the 90s and 2000s, plane travel was becoming safer and safer every year. But as plane crashes became more rare, they became more newsworthy. And so the media reported on them more and more. The effect that was during these years, the researchers found that the population in general, people in the US, became more afraid of flying, even as flying was becoming safer, partially because it was becoming safer. Friends, when we get more and more anxious about something getting safer and safer, we know the cynics are winning. And the social media companies in recent years, they've taken that business model and they have put it on steroids, profiting from our fear and despair beyond what the news stations of the 90s could have ever dreamed. So, a few months ago, I heard a relative say that they didn't trust people who were too happy because they clearly weren't paying attention to the state of things. Happiness wasn't rational, they said, and so it showed poor judgment. It reminded me of a bumper sticker I have often lived by that says, "If you aren't angry, you aren't paying attention." Friends, there is truth in that sentiment, real truth. But I want to share some evidence for hope that makes optimism also a rational choice. Because to not acknowledge the way things are getting worse is to turn away from those who are truly suffering. But to not acknowledge the way things are getting better is to erase the work of people that have made a real difference. And the powerful people who want things to stay the way they are or get worse, well, they would love nothing more than for us to believe that progress is not possible. If you want more people to work for change, what better tool can we offer than a story that proves it is possible? Being honest about good news not only makes for less anxious airline travel, it makes for better and stronger justice movements. And as a religious community, if we're not fundamentalists, religious communities should be challenging us to hold the complexity of this world. It is true that things are getting worse. It is also true that things are getting better. Truth-seeking as spiritual practice means holding the complexity of both of these stories. So these are my 3 reasons to tell the stories of good news and celebrate real wins. To honor rather than erase the work of people that have made things better, to offer fuel to a movement working for more change, and because celebrating good news in addition to grieving injustice is the honest thing to do. So here's my good news list. Are you ready? In the big picture, the rate of child mortality is one of the best ways to measure society as a whole, because healthy babies are also a measure of whether a community has clean water and enough food and vaccinations and electricity and increased education for their mothers. All of those things have gone up, way up, in recent decades, and child mortality has plummeted in almost every country in the world. Child mortality around the world is less than half of what it was just 30 years ago. By this key definition, only 6% of humanity now live in places that would meet the definition of what were once called developing countries. And on a related note, despite the awful anti-vax movement in this country, vaccinations for children around the world have absolutely skyrocketed in that amount of time. More than 80% of children around the world are vaccinated for most infectious diseases. And on a similar note, the year that my dad was born, the life expectancy around the world averaged 45 years old. Now it is 72. And as someone who just turned 42, let me tell you, I am particularly grateful for this change. In the spirit of celebrating some good news together, can I get a right on? Let's talk mass incarceration, a plague on our society. For the first 30 years of my life, the prison population in the US went up and up. It doubled in 8 years under a Republican administration. It doubled again in 8 years under the Clinton administration. It seemed like there was no limit to the number of people this country would incarcerate. But we know that if putting people in prison made us safer, we would live here in the United States in the safest place on earth. But it doesn't, and we don't. In the last 10 years, though, violent crime rates are dropping, and so is the prison population. Here in Massachusetts, the prison population is half of what it was 10 years ago, right? And that mirrors a trend around the country. It's not just here in the blue state. Nationally, there are 300,000 fewer people incarcerated than 10 years ago. And particularly close to my heart, in recent years, 9 different states have moved to end cash bail. Cash bail being, this movement, I think, is a moral necessity for creating a more just justice system, and it is beautiful to see momentum picking up there. We know that around the country, 40% of people in jail are there because they can't pay bail, not because they've been found guilty of any crime. Daenu, can I get a right on? I know you're thinking, though, what about the climate? Friends, there is serious reason for concern when it comes to climate, of course. But climate scientists also believe that the average carbon emissions per person have peaked and are now falling. 10 years ago, just 10 years ago, we were headed toward global warming of 4 to 5 degrees. But policy changes around the world in just the last 10 years mean that we're now on track for 2.5 degrees. 2.5 degrees is not great. In fact, it is devastating. But it is so incredibly, incredibly better than 5 degrees. And that change happens so quickly. Telling the story of it should only add fuel, renewable fuel, to our movement. Thank God for the tens of thousands of people who have made it their business to make this difference. Dayenu, can I get a right on? And lastly, I want to celebrate a big win with a really boring name. The Inflation Reduction Act was passed 2 years ago in the US. It is the largest piece of climate legislation any country on the planet has ever enacted. Did you know that? It's not quite the Green New Deal that many of us hoped and worked for, but even adjusted for inflation, it is bigger than the original New Deal of the 30s. It will transform our systems of energy and transportation, and it should cut the emissions of the United States in half while taxing the rich to do it. And weirdly, I'll add, it will lower drug costs for seniors by $287 billion in the next 10 years. You beat me to it. Can I get it right on? Dayenu. Dear ones, years ago, I'll admit that I was a yes, but activist. So many times when my dad, he would share some good news of justice work his congregation was doing. And my response would be to feel distant from him in that moment. And I would think, well, yes, but that's not the kind of work that's most needed right now. Or when a friend would share gratitude for some small progress in their community, I would sometimes shake my head in disappointment. I would be disappointed at how irrational their gratitude was, and I would tell them, yes, but it is not enough. Friends, yes, butism doesn't build winning coalitions. It doesn't celebrate the communities that have won real change, and it falsely oversimplifies the truth of things. Yes, butism is the work of cynics who want us to spend the day scrolling on our phones instead of using them to call our representatives and our neighbors and our comrades. Our Calvinist ancestors believed that, quote, gloom and melancholy are the clearest signs of a wise and religious person. I am no Calvinist, and so I want to invite my younger self, and I want to invite my today self into the spiritual practice of yes and. I believe that if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. Yes. And I believe that if you're not cultivating joy, you are withholding necessary fuel from the engine of our movements. And so here's what I want you to do with good news when you find it. Number 1, throw more parties. Parties are a solution to the epidemic of loneliness and isolation. They help build community, which are the building blocks of movements, and parties can come in all shapes, styles, and sizes, so throw the party that's right for you and your people. For extra credit, come to the anniversary party for the Inflation Reduction Act that I will be throwing at my house this August. Number 2, say your gratitudes before bed, and say them out loud to others. The scientists tell us that saying gratitudes every day improves your mental health, it improves your sleep, and it lowers your chance of heart attacks. Cultivating gratitude is good for you, it is good for the work, the necessary work of justice, and it's honest, because there is a long list of things to be grateful for. And number 3, tell the social media companies who built their fortunes on the backs of our mental health to cut this shit out. Algorithms are choices made by people, and our online gathering places are increasingly shaped by algorithms that feed division and despair. Because despair keeps you doom scrolling, which is good for their business. Dear ones, I'm not here to tell you that it isn't worse than you think. It is worse than you think, yes. And it's also better than you think. May we hold the complexity of yes and, that the world is both worse and better than we can possibly wrap our minds around. May we honor the justice makers and the daily task doers who have made a real difference in real people's lives. May we celebrate the change that proves change is possible. May we celebrate each step forward as if it were enough, and then start out on the next step. And may we sing each verse as if it were the whole song, and then sing the next verse. I invite you to join me in singing Keep On Moving Forward. Please rise in body or spirit. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Let's try that together. Keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward, never turning back, never turning back. Gonna keep on singing loudly, gonna keep on singing loudly, keep on singing loudly, keep on singing loudly, never turning back. Keep on loving boldly. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Keep on singing loudly. Gonna keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Loving boldly. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. 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 You all sound good.
Let us take a breath together. And another. Each week we gather to share and learn together. We keep on showing up for ourselves, for each other, and for the world of which we dream. Repeating this practice reminds us that we are part of something greater than ourselves. We always have been, and in some way, we always will be. We build beloved community when we share in one another's joys, sorrows, and sacred moments that carried us to this place in which we gather with open minds and loving hearts. Today we hold in our thoughts Rob Hamilton, who had emergency brain surgery in late June at MGH. He is home now and well recovered. He is grateful to be back to his old self. Anne Fortier was recently hospitalized at Emerson for a vascular inflammation. She is very well improved and enjoyed leading the first Tuesday summer chat held in the herb garden here at First Parish last week. And Jeff Lloyd is pleased to report that he is at home, stable, and happily anticipates a kidney transplant in mid-fall. Until then, he has a heavy schedule with dialysis, diabetes management, and infusions. He is grateful to the FP community for all of our support. We also hold in our thoughts our friends who are joining us today as visitors or members of the Summer Worship Consortium. Blessed be the path of companionship that brought all of us here together today, here and online. Yeah. Into this space made meaningful by our presence, I invite each and all of you to share the names and sacred concerns that you are holding today, either by typing them in the chat or by saying them aloud in the space that you're in. We acknowledge and hold in our hearts all of the intentions and prayers spoken and unspoken among us. We hold in our hearts all those who have yet to find a place to call their spiritual home. May they find love, belonging, and peace. Our prayer continues with these words adapted from those of Elizabeth Buki Saunter. Spirit of life which holds us, we gather in reverence and thanks for you. We are grateful for the gift of another breath and for each moment of connection, beauty, and truth. Cry with us in our pain for our world. Remind us that we are loved just as we are. Remind us that we are connected with all that is. Remind us that we do not journey alone. Give us what we need for today. Call us back to our promises, commitments, and values. Help us love ourselves and each other, and to show that love in our actions. Make us instruments of justice, equity, and compassion. Free us from all that is evil. We declare that life and love are stronger than tyranny and fear. That a world of beauty and love is coming, and we must shape it together. May it be so, and amen. Are y'all ready for some more good news? This morning, our offering will benefit you, the vote. Right. Yeah, right on. As some of you appear to already know, UU the Vote is a bold initiative created by the Unitarian Universalist Association's Side with Love team. In the crucial struggle to build a genuine multiracial democracy, UU the Vote works to provide Unitarian Universalists with a thoughtfully crafted plug-and-play opportunity to bring our democratic values to life. That means that a way to help is ready when you are. UU the Vote engages people in voter registration, issue education, get out the vote drives, voter protection, state leadership development, and more. The good news is we all have an opportunity to be part of this vital and hopeful work by giving as generously as we are able. This morning's offering will now be gratefully accepted.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit for our final song, This Joy by Caesar Shirley. Goes like this. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Can we try that together? Here we go. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, here we go. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This joy, here we go, like you mean it. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have now, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace that I have now, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And joy, last time, here we go, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Last time the world didn't. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Beloveds, may we hold the complexity of the yes and. May we honor the justice makers and the daily task doers making this world a better place every day. And may we sing each verse as if it were the whole song and then sing the next verse. I invite you to join me in our closing benediction. Go out into the world in peace.
Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings.
Go in peace and go in love and go and be blessed as you are a blessing to others. Amen. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward, never turning back, never turning back. Gonna keep on singing loudly, keep on singing loudly, keep on singing loudly, never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Never turning back. Never turning back. Amen. Go in peace.
Downstairs for coffee hour, or outside.